What's going on, everybody? So R. Kelly has gotten another win, and I actually don't need to explain why this is a win, but R. Kelly didn't do anything. R. Kelly's lawyers didn't do anything. It's kind of a win behind the scenes or an effortless win. I don't know how to describe this, but it's a win. Basically, the attorney, Michael Avenatti, the one who actually came out with these alleged videotapes of R. Kelly sleeping with underage girls, and allegedly one of the young girls in that video series was saying that she had a 13 or 14-year-old explicative remark. I'm not going to say on my channel what she said, but she indicated that she was underage by referring to a body part. Now, basically, basically, Avenatti has been convicted of extortion, right? Extortion, another form of fraud. And this is going to speak to the evidence that was used to actually create the case in Chicago. And from there was just kind of a domino effect, and you had the case in Illinois federal court, and then you had the case in New York federal court, and then you have the Minnesota case. It was a domino effect. I may not have the order right, but the essential effect is that Avenatti came out with these videos and he created a domino effect. But now that Avenatti is found to be guilty of a species of fraud or extortion, you have to question the original cause of action, in my opinion. So here's a video. I'm going to shut up, let you guys check it out. I believe it's a win for R. Kelly. Leave your questions, comments below. Let me know what you think. Is it a win for R. Kelly? Does it mean nothing at all? Let me know. I want to hear from you.
Alert, you're going to want to hear this. A jury finding lawyer Michael Avenatti guilty in his extortion case involving Nike. David Lee Miller was live in the newsroom with the latest on this. David Lee?
Dana, the jury deliberated for almost 3 days before convicting the high-profile lawyer Michael Avenatti on 3 criminal counts, including extortion as well as wire fraud. Avenatti, who did not testify, said he was unfairly targeted because of his representation of adult entertainer Stormy Daniels in lawsuits against President Trump. Prosecutors told the jury Avenatti demanded that shoe and apparel manufacturer Nike pay him as much as $25 million to conduct an internal investigation of the company, or he would hold a damaging news conference on the eve of Nike's quarterly financial report, alleging Nike made improper payouts to high school athletes. Avenatti at the time was representing a client who wanted Nike to restore a canceled sponsorship of a youth basketball program. The prosecutors say that client was unaware of Avenatti's extortion scheme. In a conversation secretly recorded by authorities and played to the jury, Avenatti told Nike's lawyers to pay up or he was going to create a PR nightmare that would damage the company's stock price. Prosecutors say Avenatti launched the shakedown scheme because he was more than $15 million in debt. Avenatti's lawyers, meanwhile, tried to portray him as simply an aggressive attorney. They used Nike's own slogan, telling the jury, and I quote, Avenatti went in there to just do it for a client. At the end of the day, the jury didn't buy it. His 3-count conviction could get him as much as 42 years behind bars. And his legal problems are not over. He faces 2 more trials, another one in New York for allegedly stealing from former client Stormy Daniels, and there is a separate 36-count indictment in California for embezzlement, tax fraud, and bankruptcy fraud. Prosecutors say some of the money that was stolen from clients, Dana, went for a number of things, including a private jet. That's the latest at this hour. Repeating the headline, Michael Avenatti, high-profile lawyer, convicted on 3 criminal counts, facing as much now as 42 years behind bars.
David Lee, maybe I could just ask you a quick question. It's pretty interesting, the company Nike decided to tell authorities what they thought was going on, and that was the beginning of this case.
That's essentially right. Avenatti had a client. This client wanted some type of a settlement from Nike for canceling the sponsorship of a basketball team. And he met with Nike, and the company felt that he was trying to extort money from him. Nike went to the feds, And that's when the feds began to record these conversations that ultimately resulted in the conviction.